Well, they arrived, my books, just in time for Open Studios. You can buy these on your own online, or you could buy them from me, and I'll inscribe them for you and send them to you. So my cunning plan was to have me be able to say, to Marilyn, with much love, Pierre, on this page. Or what I really think. No, I'm joking, Marilyn. How much are they? On Amazon, they're $18. And if you were here in my very studio and wanted one, it might be 15. But if I have to put them in the mail and put postage on it and stuff like that, then I'd have to add more money. So, but I think if I can, I think I probably could sell them for $18 and include the postage on my dime. I mean, I don't know exactly. So, but the important thing now is, of course, to find out whether this paper works with our favorite fountain pens. This is a pen that I bought from Cedar, and I've been using it for a while. Let me just find out. I don't remember what color ink I have in it. I think this is Waterman Black. So let's see if Waterman Black. So the paper is really smooth and it seems good. There's a little bit of not bleed through, but show through with the ink from the next page. So I'm not going to put your name on here because I have to think about how I'd want to inscribe it to you. But I'm going to say, put your name here. How about that? Your name here. I could have done this much better. Pierre. But I'm sort of, so it seems not to bleed on this paper. There's a little bit of show through here. That's okay. Your name here. I'm just trying to see whether there's any real difference between these copies and another one. Now, one of the things that, I'm already planning on revising this a little bit because I did want to maybe include a biography of the author and maybe a picture of me, maybe include some things on the back. When I get some people saying things about the book that they like, I can have that on the back like you normally see on a book. I may also include something in the back here where I'll say, add a couple pages where I'll say something like, if you think of a different caption for one of my stories or one of the ones that I didn't do a caption for, like I don't think I did a caption for this one, I could say, you let me know what you think would be funny. And then when I reprint it, I might include your comment here, and in the back I'd have a little number saying 15 or something, and then you'd look in the back, and 15 caption was by Ms. Marilyn Darling. Another thing I'm sort of curious to know, and I've had people look at it and proof it, and they didn't seem to have any problem, but maybe some of the lettering has to be enlarged a bit, which maybe will mean that I pull some of these drawings out a little bit toward the edge. I really like it though. I love having all of this white space around it. And that was really an important part of the format of the book, was this big margin. And it's fine on a 1 on a page, but when you have 2 on a page, then the lettering becomes a little smaller. But again, I could make this into 4 lines of text, not 3, and enlarge it a little bit if I had to. But I really don't want necessarily to do that. It's readable now, even with my funny lettering that sort of gets filled in. That was something that they made me change in the cover of the book. See how you see it here, but on the cover they made me clean that up. I'm surprised they allowed me to have my S underneath that pen. Thought they'd make me change that. They made me also clean up this a little bit and make it smaller. But all in all, I think it's fine. There's, I might smush this over a tidge. I wanted it to be centered, but there's a little bit of wiggle room that they have in the printing of the books where they say that there might be an error of printing this way or that way, 1/16 of an inch or something like that. So if this is just a little over 4 centimeters or whatever this is, and this is a little under that. So by moving this over a little bit, that would, but I wasn't sure. It was really hard to tell on the template what was happening. They did make me, see where it says ink here, ink bottle. They did make me take that off the cover, which I guess I can understand why they would do that. They want the cover to be pristine. I don't know whether I want this, maybe on the cover. Maybe that doesn't have to be there. I don't know. I know that it's on all the other pages, so that's why I left it there. But people are gonna, most of these jokes or these captions, I think, make sense for most people. Some people that don't know 16th century European history. I'm making this entirely up. I don't have a joke about that, but I do have. There was someone that I said to her about this joke. She'd never seen the Batman TV show, so this may not make any sense for her if she's never seen the Batman TV show. And but anyway, yeah, well, I did provide them with a PDF. That was how they got this thing, was a PDF. But anyway, I'm glad it's over. The twins wore identical outfits, except Brenda prefers lace undergarments, while Wanda went commando. So who do you think is unencumbered by anything down there? Who's feeling the fresh air fly around the flaps? Is it this one or that one? It's hard to tell. They both are identical. So here's a little kitty watching the plumber with his plumber's crack fix the sink. There is occasionally, on a really fine line on a diagonal, you see sort of pixelation happening, which is not pixelation, it's just the screen that they use to print the grayscale. So when it gets to be at a 45-degree angle, sometimes it looks sort of jiggly. But that doesn't bother me. Are very simple and cartoony, so they're not meant to be too overly subtle. Tired of their association with Satan, the Sixes went on strike, causing chaos in the financial world. Two out of three men felt the sauna's floor was cleaner than the bench. This one here. A sudden gust left her father without his umbrella, his newspaper, and his toupee. This one has some sort of big people back there and svelte people up here. The full range of human body types are seen in the parking lot shared by Tanorama and Walmart. Fido heard no improvement in his master's barbershop quartet. Unlike other adolescent boys, Phileas didn't know what to do with his hands. Did I misspell Tanorama? The pilot looked sober, and that's all that mattered. So anyway, so it's 160 some pages long, and some of them don't have a cartoon on them, obviously, and some have 4 on them. Some have 2 on them. So I think all in all, there's probably about 190 drawings. So anyway, I ordered 60 of them, and I got them thinking that, I might sell 15 or 20 to people in my building. I might sell 15 at Open Studios this weekend, and I might sell, I'm going to give some to my brother to bring to Minnesota where he can, give them to my brothers and my family, but maybe he can also sell them to friends of ours. It's the money that I'm going to get. I could sell, if I sold 1,000 copies myself, the amount of time that I went into putting this thing together and fixing it and moving things around and scanning it and doing all the crap. I didn't scan anything, but updating it and trying it one way and trying it another way. It's I'm not making a lot of money on this. So all the animals in the Nazi zoo goose-stepped, even the geese. While wearing his mink negligee, Mr. Clean was quite dirty. Well, my books were in the mail. And again, I will hear what people have to say if I get back a bunch of comments saying they're all funny, or they're not going to say that. I thought a lot of them were funny. There's one I didn't understand. And if 9/10 of people respond, I didn't understand the same one, then I have to look at it and see if it makes sense. Though the nanobots did a splendid job, it was unclear why they built a railroad through the taste buds of a human tongue. Well, a good friend of mine who's on me sometimes, he he said, your captions are too long and they're not funny enough. But they're not meant to, the main part of this book is not me making a funny joke. It's me taking this prompt and coming up with 20 images from this one prompt. It's more about the drawing that comes from that and the variety of drawings that come from that. That's the fun part. If this was all by itself, it wouldn't be funny. But, well, it might not be funny. But when you see it, that this came from that, that's where the fun lies, in my humble opinion. It's the challenge of creating something out of random squiggles. So and sometimes they are funny, and sometimes they're poignant, and sometimes they're sad. This one, Thumper ended his days working at Revlon. So Thumper is the bunny from Bambi, and they use rabbits and other animals to find out whether makeup will cause you to go blind and things like that. So as you see, number 7 is blind. With great skill and sharp instruments, the surgeon separated the conjoined centuplets with only one fatality. And a centuplet is, centuplets are 100 babies from the same mother. And this one, for example, this one, all the cars. When no one is near, the spirits of ecstasy exchange juicy stories about what happens in the back seat. So you have to know or look it up. But the hood ornament on Rolls Royces is called the Spirit of Ecstasy, which I didn't know until I had to write the caption. I drew the picture. I knew what I wanted the picture to say, but I didn't know what Rolls Royce mascot, the radiator cap. I didn't know what it was called, but it's called the Spirit of Ecstasy. This one, the train exploding, you sort of have to know. I listen to a lot of British mystery and historical plays, and the anarchists during the early part of the 20th century, and even all the way through the 20th century for that matter, they would put bombs and things and cause trauma, burn things down, and they were called outrages. And so for this caption, as the explosion of the train, obviously, as the explosion happened on only a spur of the Manchester line, the House of Lords suggested the downgrade from outrage to irksome. The House of Commons was not amused. So you have to know that outrage thing. And I found a city I went online, blue collar city in England, and Manchester is one of those. So after some research, I came up with something that I thought made sense. Whether it's funny or not, I don't know, but I thought it made sense. So that was that one. One of my favorites is this one, though. So here's the original prompt, and here's the drawing I did. High humidity peeled back wallpaper exposing the previous layer. Blood spatter analysis suggests Lizzie took 82 whacks, not 81, as is commonly thought. So you have to know that poem. Lizzie Borden took an axe, gave her father 40 whacks. When she saw what she had done, gave her mother 41. Or whatever. Maybe gave her mother 41. So I added that up. It's not 81. So 82 whacks because there was an extra little splatter. This is another one I thought was funny. So a snail sheds a tear over the flattened body of his fellow traveler. So there's the eye on the stalk, I guess they call them. And there's the tear coming out of one of the eyes. And then you look at the one that's dead and there's little X's over its eyes. So I, follow the stupid conventions of cartoons. The kindest review, so here's Brunhilde at the opera. The kindest review said at least her hair had lyricism to it. So anyway, yay. So let me do this, Ms. Marilyn. Let me, not that I expect to sell out this weekend, but let me get done with this week, and I'll put a thing on my Facebook page about how to order these, and on Instagram how to order them, and people can send me a check or something if they want them. Why is this one darker than that one? How did that happen? I guess that's okay. I mean, this was the very first challenge drawing I did, and I did it in second grade. And I don't remember what the original lines were, but I think there was only 3. And this is what I did with it in second grade. So I think the triangle, and there might have been I don't know what it was. It could have been this curved line. I'm not really sure. It's hard for me to see what the original lines were, because I finished this in color crayons, and so it's hard for me to see how it started. This is one of my favorite ones here. Father and son looked both ways before crossing the busy street. And this one here. The wrestlers were in a tight lock when one let loose a resounding fart. So I think they're funny. So anyway, yay. So anyway, I have to get back to cleaning my house here. I'm having a party this weekend. So, but anyway, yay. See ya.